data quality and data quantity constantly as things that hold back teams on figuring out what is good enough data that actually allows us to do effective AI personalization and do stuff that's a bit more complex. Where do teams often like misdiagnose their data readiness? Like how do you know when you have enough data and good enough data to make that change?
Most of the times we think data readiness is all about we have good quantity of data and the data is accurate and complete. That's good enough data. But what I have seen, if you don't have a context of why we have this data and how we are going to utilize this data, it's actually help us to define, are we really ready for personalization or do we have good enough data? So, what I do, and it's basically three hidden quality gaps within the data which you have not identified yet, and which is very critical to measure how much data is really good enough data. First is identifying whether data has a consistency there. Most of the organization have collected data, but we have discovered the temporal inconsistency. The
Mhm.
transactional data was there, but it was collected in different parts of the timeline. We are not able to stitch together and get insights out of it. So inconsistency of data is it's one of the biggest challenge. Second is we we know what customers are interacting, what customers are doing with us with the purchasing of the good or transactions or the various engagement data. We know what they are doing, but we don't know why they are doing. Why did
Mhm.
they buy? Why did they went to or visit? What are the different channels they visited? Why they switched their preferences? So that why is very important behind the data, which I was saying the context why we collected this data. And the third is the relationship blindness. It's very common in the financial services when it comes to management of money, the head of household, and not able to connect the other family members into one. That
Mhm.
creates a relationship blindness that we because most of the decisions are collective decisions by the family and by making identifying the head of household you can provide the better recommendation or communications. We developed a fitness of purpose framework that assess data quality specifically for personalization use. For example, we determined that effectiveness based offer personalization requires 9 months of consistent behavioral data, 85% of the identity resolution across channels, and less than 48 hours data latency. uh, this breakthrough came when we focus on enriching relationship data, connecting household members within our system. This single improvement increased personalization effectiveness by 37%, even though we haven't made any algorithm changes. So, good enough data is not about perfection across all attributes, but rather sufficient quality in specific dimension that drive the personalization use case.